Okay, good afternoon once again. So now we will proceed to Japan's indigenous religion. So this is called Shintoism. Okay, now aside from what I have said, that Shintoism is Japan's ancient religion. So what are the things that comes to your mind when you hear about Shinto or Shintoism? Okay, so hold on that thought and let's try to see if what you have learned or what are your knowledge about Shintoism is aligned in what we are going to discuss this afternoon. Okay, I hope you're well and ready. And now let's start. Okay, Shintoism. Okay, so Shintoism is a polytheistic belief that expresses love and respect for nature. So as you can see, so in the picture, it's about nature. So actually, Shintoism has been in existence for thousands of years in Japan already. It takes definite shapes during the succession of feudal powers in Japan. And then, but as we know, Shintoism doesn't have any specific founder or shall we say prophet or sage. So the center of Shintoism is it worship in the temple during rituals and it is conducted by a Shinto priest. Okay, so and then the center of Shintoism is that they just express love and respect for nature. Now let's go on to know about more about Shintoism. Okay, so in comparison to the West, so if we heard about indigenous religion, maybe the things would come into our mind is paganism in Europe, okay, or even paganism that exists here in Asia before, where people used to worship mountains, trees, and all parts of nature. So that is why we could compare Shintoism to the West, like having paganism in Europe, many tribal beliefs in Africa, and practices of native cultures in North and South America. Okay. Now, Shintoism celebrates life and beauty of nature, like the Shintoist worship Kami. Okay, later on we will know what is Kami. Okay, here. Kami is a general term for Shinto deities and spirit. Okay, some kami are compared to the gods of the West, but are different in many ways too. Actually, kami can also be forces of nature, important to people or even natural object. So that is kami, forces of nature, important people, or even natural objects. Okay, let's proceed. A kami also could be a special rock, a large tree, or a waterfall could also be considered as kami. And the emperor of Japan was also considered as kami because as I have mentioned earlier, it might also be an important person. So, you know, there's one person named Hiroko Takayama. He is one of around 3,000 women priests in Japan as of today. So Hiroko turned her back on a promising career and even embraced her life of a Shinto priest. Okay, women Shinto priests are rare in Japan, and although they usually served priests. Okay, so women Shinto priests are rare in Japan. That is why for women who take the path of Shintoism, or those who take the priesthood, there are certain restrictions to them. Okay, certain restrictions. And then as there are also some rituals that may be officiated only by male priests. Okay, some perceive that the work of a priest is too burdensome of a woman. That is why. So that is a trivia for Hiroko Takayama as a priest, a woman priest for Shinto. Okay, now let's go on. Now, Unlike most other religions of the world, Shintoism has no indefeasible founder, no body of religious laws, no written scriptures or holy texts. Unlike, for example, the Islam, they have the Quran. For the Christians, we have the Holy Bible. So also Shinto has no also a very loosely organized priesthood. As long as they worship, okay, they are not like an organized or a set of religion that is formally founded. Okay, that is Shintoism. And then next to that, Shintoism has four affirmations. So first is a tradition and the family. The family is seen as the main force for tradition to be preserved. So main celebrations relate to birth and marriage. So first is the family. Next is love of nature. For Shinto, or in Shintoism, nature is sacred. Okay, that's why to be in contact with nature is to be close to gods. Natural objects are worshipped as sacred spirits. Okay, next. So next to that, the third one is physical cleanliness. So followers of Shinto take baths, wash their hands, rinse out their mouth often. So Shinto stresses that purifying that which is unclean, such as dirt, wounds, and disease. Touching the dead is considered also unclean. Actually, this teaching of touching the dead is considered as unclean can also be seen in Christian teaching, most especially in the Old Testament of the Bible. So the Levites before, or those priests who serve, they should also wash themselves daily to purify themselves, and also must not touch any unclean or dead things. So this is somewhat similar to Shintoism. Okay, now let's continue. The last one of the four affirmation is Matsuri. Actually, Matsuri is the worship given to the kami and to the ancestral spirits. Okay, now Shintoists build shrines dedicated to specific kami. Okay, the kami respond to sincere prayers of the faithful. And also shrine ceremonies includes cleansing, offerings, prayers, and dances. So according to Shinto teaching, everything in nature has spirits. So these spirits are called kami, are believed to keep people safe and help them live. And they also build shrines called gates and perform ceremonies to ask for blessing. So that is how they believe. So here we have Torii Gate. So when entering a shrine, one passes through a torii. Okay, the torii marks the separation between the finite world and the infinite world of the gods. Okay, so we know that we as human, we are limited. We are bound to finite things or finite things, and then the infinite world of gods is like beyond our reach. That is why the Shinto or Shintoist, they believed in making this gate somewhat like a portal, okay, from the finite or finite man to the infinite world of the gods. Okay, that is the purpose of their Torii gate. And then next to that, okay, here are pictures of Torii gates. Okay, here a tunnel of Torii gates in Mount Kyoto. And then we also have here the Torii gong, and then the Shinto temple or their worship hall. Okay, so now, does Shintoism still exist? Okay, quick answer to that is yes, but this time in an altered form. So current Japanese religion is a combination of Shintoism already. Okay, so I hope you learned much the about the discussion of Shintoism. Now this time, I want you to review the slide, and then also I want you to find, or that is according to your point of view or your stand about Shintoism, and prepare for the activity for this topic. Okay, that would be all. Thank you.